Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a small girl called Little Red Riding Hood. She lived with her parents beside a deep, dark forest. In a cottage on the other side of the forest lived her grandmother. And in the deep, dark forest lived. Oh, who's that saying? Hee hee. A big, bad wolf. Grandmother's poorly, said Little Red Riding Hood's mother one day. Please take her this cake, but don't stop on the way. So Little Red Riding Hood set off through the deep, dark forest. She looked all around. There wasn't a sound. Then who should she meet but the big bad wolf? Good day, my dear, growled the wolf with the big bad smile. What are you doing here? I'm going to grandmother's to take her a cake, replied Little Red Riding Hood. And the wolf is thinking, she looks delicious. And Red Riding Hood is thinking, what big teeth. The wolf had a plan. Wouldn't your grandmother like some of these flowers? He smiled. What a good idea, said Little Red Riding Hood, and she stopped to pick a big bunch. Meanwhile, the wolf sped ahead through the deep dark forest. At last he arrived at Grandmother's cottage. I'm hungry, thought the big bad wolf, licking his lips, and he knocked at the door. Hello, Grandmother, growled the wolf. It's Little Red Riding Hood. That sounds more like the big bad wolf, thought Grandmother, and she crept quickly under the bed. The wolf went in. He looked all around, but there wasn't a sound. Then his tummy rumbled. No one's here, he grumbled. Never mind. Little Red Riding Hood will be along soon. And Granny's under the bed and she's saying, It's dusty. I mustn't sneeze. Quickly, the wolf put on Grandmother's dressing gown and nightcap. Then he hopped into bed and pretended to nap. Hee, he snarled. Little Red Riding Hood will never know it's me. And he says, I'm ready for a tasty snack. Soon, Little Red Riding Hood knocked at the door. Hello, Grandmother, she called. It's Little Red Riding Hood. Come in, my dear, growled the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood opened the door. Oh, Grandmother, she gasped. What big ears you have! All the better to hear you with, my dear, growled the wolf. And Grandmother, what big eyes you have! All the better to see you with, my dear, growled the wolf. And Grandmother, what big teeth you have! All the better too. And Little Red Riding Hood is thinking, those teeth remind me of someone. Gobble you up, roared the wolf. But as he leapt out of bed, Grandmother's nightcap flopped right over his head. I can't see anything, he says. Quick, down here, dear, whispered Grandmother, as she pulled Little Red Riding Hood under the bed. Just then, a woodcutter passed by the cottage. He heard a growling and a howling, and he dashed inside. With one swish of his axe, he killed the big bad wolf. But the woodcutter looked all around, but there wasn't a sound. And then out crept Little Red Riding Hood and Grandmother from under the bed. And Little Red Riding Hood said, Mother was right. I'll never stop again on my way through the forest. The end.
Hi guys, how are you? That is one of my favourite stories. I love Little Red Riding Hood. I've read a few different versions of it, but that one's a very good one. The activities below are really interesting this week because we have the small world activities again, where that's just we have the pictures of characters that maybe that big, characters and background, that we cut them out and we can stick on our Lego blocks or just any building blocks that we have, and we can play with them and change the story if we want. Or even I saw people stick them on lollipop sticks so you can kind of hold them up and have a little puppet show, which is loads of fun. And I have included the story of Little Red Riding Hood in Irish, which is really interesting. I read it myself and I was struggling a little bit to get all the words, but it was still really, really good, and it's great to see it translated into Irish. So I've included it down in the link if anybody is interested. And then there are colouring pages and colour by numbers, which I know all of Montessori love and Play School as well. So have a go with those and try your best to stick to the numbers and the colours, but if you want to go off book and just colour whatever beautiful rainbow colours you want, you can as well, because that's always fun. So hope you guys enjoyed the book, and I hope you enjoy the activities as well. See you later. Bye.